It waits between heartbeats. The Blackwater Point Lighthouse had been silent for nearly 30 years before Elias took the job. He didn't mind the isolation he'd been running from people for most of his life. The sea was easier company. Predictable. Honest in its cruelty. The lighthouse stood like a pale bone jutting from the cliffside, its rusted iron railing curling in on itself like a dying hand. Each night, Elias climbed the winding stairs, turned the great gear of the beacon, and let its light slice through the dark like a sharpened blade. But that night, the storm came in from the north. He saw something in the beam. At first, it seemed like a shipwreck, some jagged remnant of a mast, but it moved against the tide. The light passed over it again, and the shape had changed taller, sharper, now leaning toward the shore. The more he looked, the more wrong it became, as if his mind refused to settle on what it truly was. Then he saw the eyes. Not one pair, not a dozen, hundreds, all packed into a vertical slit that cut through the creature's head, rolling and blinking in eerie unison. Every time those eyes moved, he felt a deep ache in his jaw, as though invisible hands were trying to pull the teeth from his gums. The next sweep of the beacon brought it closer. Panic surged through him. He shut off the light, something no keeper was supposed to do, and bolted the doors. The storm howled, rain hammered the glass, and the wind rattled the lighthouse like an enormous hand shaking a toy. But beneath all that, Elias heard, sliding. Something was moving through the stone walls, not over them, in them. A wet, deliberate sound, as though the mortar between the bricks had become an open throat. He huddled at the bottom of the stairs, lantern clutched in white-knuckled hands, trying to keep his heart steady. That was when he noticed it. In the spaces between heartbeats, there was no sound at all. No wind, no waves, no storm. And in those silences, the sliding sound was closer. The hours bled together. He didn't sleep, he didn't eat, he didn't dare climb to the light room again. By the second night, his sense of time had collapsed into a sequence of beats and silences, the creature advancing only when the world itself paused. On the third morning, the storm finally broke. The villagers came, expecting to see the beacon sweeping the waves again. They found the light still dark. Inside, the lighthouse was dry, undisturbed except for the absence of Elias. All that remained was the faint sound of the ocean echoing from cracks in the stone. Those who have stayed in Blackwater Point since swear that, if you stand in the lighthouse alone at night, you'll hear it too. The strange, perfect quiet between your own heartbeats and the gut-sick certainty that something enormous is standing just one step closer. I was the keeper at Blackwater Point Lighthouse until the storm. The beacon caught something in the sea, a shape too big to name, with a slit full of hundreds of eyes. Every time my heart beat, it stayed still. But in the silence between heartbeats, it moved closer. I shut off the light, locked the doors, but the sound of something sliding through the walls followed me. The villagers say I vanished without a trace. They're wrong. I'm still here between your heartbeats.